Hello, judges. My name is Barkley Hunter, and I will be going over the Software Design Award judge requirements in this video. The Software Design Award is judged off of the software section of a team's larger engineering notebook. The requirements begin with the overall development process, and you will be looking to see that there is evidence that the team actually personally programmed their robot rather than using a default or pre-built program. And this section is worth 30 points. The larger 50-point section is to see a design process followed, beginning with planning and then into designing, then coding, testing, and release, which these 5 steps make up the rest of the score sheet as well. Under planning, you will be looking to see that the team actually looked to see what they would need programmed on their robot. For example, if they have no need of an arm, then they would not program an arm, but if they do have need of an arm, then they would program an arm. You also want to see that the programming is actually identified as whether it controls an arm or a wheel or any other function on the robot. And finally, you want to see that anything that is programmed relates to the game itself and how that team plans to play the game with their robot. In designing and coding, you want to see that some kind of planning was put in before the actual code was written in the programming interface. This can be anything from digital coding, or it can be something as simple as a flowchart drawn on paper. You also want to see that sensors were either used or not used, whichever one fits with the team's strategy. And you want to see that a control scheme was looked at in order to make the drivers the most capable of using the programming with the robot. And finally, you want to see that the program is well organized and also easily adaptable through things like commenting and naming, and also through things such as using variables instead of set values, and using subsystems and other things that would allow it to be adapted easily to changing needs for the robot. You also want to look at testing and debugging. This covers everything from actually digitally simulating the software in one way or another to see that it would work before uploading to the robot. You also want to see that it was validated on the robot itself even after virtual testing. And then you want to see that the team actually could make a controlled system for testing this on a repeated basis. The final section concerns releasing the code, and in this section you want to look for some sort of set release schedule as well as tracked versioning. So, for example, different names for older and newer versions of the programs that allow the programmer to easily keep track of which version of the program is being loaded on the robot. And all of these categories add up to a potential maximum of 250 points, which then this total gets divided by 10, and whatever the final leftover of this operation is the team's final score. Thank you, and good luck judging the Software Design Award.